Hi everyone, it's Kit, and this video is for my year one and year two main teachers and subs. Because this video is to just give you guys a heads up about what is in store to support my sub program, for our church's sub program as we move into the faith formation year for those classes that are specifically working on sacramental preparation. So let me go ahead and share. Well, no, not going to share my screen yet. So the way that our sub-program is going to work for our sacramental years, year one and year two, is my subs, you guys are going to start by shadowing in the classrooms that you're assigned to. So there's going to be two, maybe three classrooms for year one, and then two or three for year two, depending upon which session you are involved in. And so you'll be taking kind of those first few weeks to rotate from one class to another to another. You know, you'll be staying in one class for a full lesson. Then the next week you'll be in a different class for the full lesson. The next week you'll be in another class for the full lesson. The idea is, when you're shadowing, you can function as an additional class assistant. You're going to be observing how the class, is structured, how it's managed by the main teacher, and you'll be starting to get to know kind of the teacher and assistants' names and the students' names. You'll kind of already have some level of familiarity with, like, okay, that's the energetic kid, that's the shy kid. So when it comes to the time that you're going to be substituting in a class, you'll be ready and kind of familiar with these kids to step in with them. Now, I know for a fact some of my teachers will have planned absences. And so when there's a planned absence, you'll kind of know well ahead of time, okay, on this date, there's going to be an absence, so I'm going to be stepping in. But the way a substitution works is you might also have a main teacher who is out due to a personal or family kind of more last minute emergency. So I want you subs to be prepared to kind of teach a lesson each week. Now, to help you do that, we have to stay on schedule, so you can't deviate from our lessons and from the calendar that we're going to be doing. So all of the year ones will be all teaching the same lesson at the same time, regardless of the session, regardless of the classroom. Same thing with our year two, because if a kid misses a class, I provide those parents with the makeup instructions for the work. So we all have to be kind of lockstep in order to get through all the curriculum and all the materials, all the preparation that we need to for these kids to get their sacraments. So you will know in advance, like, which lesson you're going to be teaching this, the coming week. So as a sub, just kind of be aware, like, okay, this week we're going to be in reconciliation unit 3, or sorry, lesson 3, or this week we're starting Eucharist 1 in the year 2 classroom. So kind of follow along with the class calendar, and then you'll have another resource as well. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. So I apologize, I'm going to share the entire screen, so you're going to see some kind of crazy, scary stuff as we get going. So first of all, um, what I'm talking about with the calendars is, here's my year one calendar. And so you'll see, here's the date and here's specifically the lesson that we're doing. So on every date, you'll know exactly, like, January 22nd of 2025, we're going to be teaching Salvation History Lesson 1 in our year one classroom. For year two, that same night, January 22nd, 2025, we'll be teaching Eucharist 6 in that classroom. So subs, you need to be ready for those specific lessons. Same thing with main teachers, always be prepared for the specific lesson on the calendar. Now, to make it easier to do that this year, what I have been working on this summer is lesson prep videos. So I'm halfway through. I've done them for reconciliation and for salvation history. So let's take a look at this. So on YouTube, I have kind of a playlist that is like an unlisted playlist. And Saturday morning, every week before we have a lesson, you will be receiving an email from me. This email will go to main teachers, their assistants, and all of my subs for that classroom. And that email will have kind of a highlight of what this upcoming week's lesson is going to be about, maybe any additional little tips or tricks, and then there'll be links to these videos. So the Saturday before we start our reconciliation unit, you're going to have a link to this reconciliation lesson planning introduction video and reconciliation unit lesson 1 prep video. And then each week as we move, you'll have, the next lesson, the next lesson. So you'll get these, short videos. Some of them are long, this one's just under 20 minutes. These two are under 10 minutes. And then for our salvation history, I can show you those ones that have been recorded so far. So these ones can be a little bit more in depth, between 10 and 20 minutes to watch. But the idea is you watch the video. I'm going to give you my tips and tricks, what I encourage you to anticipate, and kind of where you're going and what you're really focusing on in the lesson. For both of our units so far, and then when I have done my year 2 videos as well, which I haven't recorded yet, this will help everyone to stay focused on the objective for the overarching unit. So we can have this broad, kind of generalized vision across each week where we're going. And we can all share that same vision, whether we're a main teacher or whether we're a substitute. So that's some of what we're doing this year that's new. And I hope that this is going to be kind of an ongoing resource to everyone. So I just wanted to share that little bit of information for all of my my year 1 and year 2 teachers, and for my year 1 and year 2 substitutes. For any of you that want access to a digital PDF now, so you can start thinking about your lesson plans for the coming year, just send me an email at any time. You will have kind of the print out teacher plans when we do our breakfast and orientation. And then you'll have our in-service this year where you can get to know your teaching team. And I want my subs at that time to kind of get connected with their teaching teams that they're supporting. You guys can start thinking about my subs as almost like little deans, like they're the deans of these kind of groups, and they can help with communication between each of my classrooms and with me as well, and kind of advocate for your guys' needs. So I'm so grateful to have you all enlisted. I feel overwhelmingly blessed that I have all of my all my substitute positions rather, they are all filled. You guys are amazing and incredible people, and the community that we are showing and we are building at our church is just fabulous. So let me stop sharing so you can stop looking with great anxiety about all of my tabs that I always have open. It's kind of insane and overwhelming on my computer and in my brain all the time. But I hope that this is helpful for y'all. And again, I thank you all and God bless you all. And I'll see you in a few weeks for our teacher orientation and breakfast.